Welcome back, everybody. I'm sure that there's a lot of people here because in the presence of the Fudge Effect podcast. Oh my God, I can't even speak today. It's a Thursday. You'll see this on a Friday, but it's a Thursday. We have on two-time All-State, two-time All-First Team and First Conference. That's just a lot of accolades. It's too much to say. And an MVP in our presence, Alexis Neider. How are we?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm not too bad. Took a nice shower before this. I feel good. I feel refreshed. So, you go to the same school as me.
Yes.
CCSU. Let's take a little detour right before. So talk to me about what got you into volleyball and your process all the way to eventually getting to CCSU. Let's hear this.
All right. So I started playing volleyball my freshman year. Like, seriously.
Yep.
Connecticut volleyball is not as well developed, I would say, as other areas. So there's like clinics and stuff like that, but like I literally learned like rotations and stuff my freshman year of high school. Literally just played for fun, like with friends. I was tall, so like that was one of the main reasons why.
How tall were you in high school and how tall are you now?
I was pretty much the same. I've been the same height since high school, like 5'8", 5'9".
Okay.
Round up on the roster though to 5'10". But yeah, so I made the team my freshman year. I was on JV. Sophomore year I was on varsity. I started varsity my sophomore year, which was a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then I was a middle. So I was a middle my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. Which thinking about now is like I would not be able to do that.
Right.
I think middle is the hardest position on the court. And then senior year, COVID, I got switched to outside hitter. So I went from the middle to the outside playing 6 rotations.
Okay.
So at my school, we played in the fall during COVID. No spectators, played in masks.
How did that feel?
Oh my God. That was like, honestly, like looking back on it, like it happened for a reason. Like I'm glad I had a season still.
Yeah.
But in the moment, like worst thing ever.
Did that help with conditioning at all?
Yeah. We used to have these things called mask breaks where like literally we would. So at my high school, I have 2 gyms. I have the old gym and the new gym.
Yep.
New gym was under construction. So we had to practice in the old gym, which had no AC.
Oh,
in a mask.
My God.
Like it was brutal. So we'd go outside, like take the mask down real quick.
So you said that so what grade were you when you officially started playing?
Freshman year of high school.
Okay, so freshman year was like first time ever playing volleyball.
I had done like clinics, like open gyms and stuff, but like actually like in a rotation, like a full game situation, like freshman year of high school.
Yeah, but you were starting as a sophomore varsity. How did that feel having to play against people older than you?
Scary, honestly. I was like, what, 15?
Thank you for that honest answer.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm so sick and tired of everyone lying. I was ready for it.
No,
I was
honestly, like scary. Like I tell people all the time, like there, like one situation, like there's a girl in another school who was 6'4", who was a middle. She plays at Sacred Heart now.
Oh no.
But it was basically me versus her every time we'd play them. So you can imagine 5'9" versus 6'4".
David versus Goliath.
Oh my God.
I'm sure you whooped her ass.
It was brutal.
Oh.
No. I was not on the winning side of that.
Yeah. So going from sophomore year to junior year, actually, as a matter of fact, let's do it as a whole. If you were to compare yourself to you now, let's go as a person first to high school.
Mm-hmm.
What are some differences, or if you were able to talk to that version of you then, in your current form now, like what would you say? Whether it's in terms of volleyball, in terms of life itself, what would you say?
I actually had this conversation the other day with my brother.
Oh, look at that. Shout out to your brother.
Yeah, shout out John.
And you told me what, Gatorade Player of the Year?
Yeah, he just got Gatorade Player of the Year.
Shout out to you, John.
Yeah.
Maybe you can come
Crazy athlete. He's insane.
That's crazy.
But I said to him, I was like, if I could go back and talk to my high school self, it would be like, take it way more seriously. Because in high school, like, I was just playing for fun. Like, I didn't have any, like meaning to play in college. So now, like, looking back on it, I'm like, if I had that idea in my head, like, oh, I'm going to play in college, like, so much earlier on, like, I feel like I would have been, like...
Like, now do you feel like you have to, like, work a little harder because it's not as natural to you?
I've never been mentally? like a high pressure situation, if that makes sense, like
I gotcha.
athletically.
Yeah.
So like, cause in that situation, like
You were always able to just do your thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So now I'm looking back, I'm like, also like never lifted before college. So like if I had known like that was a thing, like just take it more seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
So going from sophomore year to junior year, and you just said that obviously sophomore year was very challenging at times.
Yeah.
Junior year, was it more of a I definitely got this and I know what to expect type of thing?
Definitely.
Like, how did that go?
So I played basketball my freshman year of high school.
What position?
It's got to be center. I was always the tallest one, always.
That's crazy.
But I quit basketball to play travel volleyball.
Okay.
So that was my sophomore year. So playing club volleyball and like going into my junior year with that was like almost like, oh, I got this. Like I understood the game a little bit more, and like when you play with people at like a higher level like that, you're like, I felt like I was
Where was the farthest you ever had to go for a game?
like Boston. It wasn't anything
like Boston?
It wasn't that bad.
That's far as hell for me.
Some people other people on my team, like some of my teammates, like going to like Texas, Indiana, like no.
That's nuts.
Yeah, no. Boston was the farthest. Or like
just
Pennsylvania.
Random question. What are your thoughts on Boston? Are you a Boston or NYC person?
Surprisingly, I had only been to Boston one time before, other than that tournament. And honestly, like New York, I think.
NYC?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What gives it the edge?
I just think, like, in Boston, that's for, like, a very specific type of person, I feel like. New York, like, there's so much to do for, like, everyone. Yeah. Like, when I was walking around, I went to Boston for a basketball game, the Celtics, and I was
Who were they playing?
The Heat.
Nice.
Yeah, the Heat lost, I'm pretty sure.
Good.
Yeah.
The Heat.
Yeah, but that, I was, like, walking around, I was like, I can't see myself being, like, walking around here for, like, more than an hour without getting so bored.
Yeah. Like,
in New York, it's, like, you're walking and you're like, oh, let's do this. Or, like, you could literally be walking and you're, like, hungry, like, oh, let's go do this. Like, Boston is very, like, wasn't a fan.
Really? Okay, so first time I went to New York City, very first time, my senior year in high school, and I had a friend on my football team, shout out to Nick, and him and his pops obviously I paid for my ticket, but, like, they pretty much took me to New York, and it was my first time going on a train, like, to anywhere, and get out, and oh my god, it smelled horrible.
Oh my god, yeah.
New York is that's and as soon as I got there, I was like, I already know what's gonna happen. Yeah. I thought New York was. This is no disrespect if you're from New York, no disrespect, but at least the city we're talking about, it felt cramped because the apartments are like this.
Yeah.
It smelled.
Yeah.
The people were just jerks. I have never been anywhere where I was told to, like, hide my chains or, like, anything. Like, I'll get pickpocketed. I was like, what is this, like,
and you
Italy?
Won't even realize.
Italy in, like, the 1920s? Like, I'm going to get pickpocketed by, like, a little kid? That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
And then Boston, when I went to Boston for the first time, I also had a terrible experience. Yeah. And I'll say why. Because, so I was going for a Dua Lipa concert. And shout out to Dua Lipa. Go. And so I went. I was running on like 3 hours of sleep. That was a mistake.
Huge mistake.
Should have got sleep. My friend, shout out to Gavin, I love you, but he thought it was a good idea to go there early when the concert was at like 8 p.m.
Oh no.
To go early.
Bad idea.
While I was on 3 hours of sleep, okay? And then let's just say he wanted to do a little dance with Mary Jane, okay? Oh my God. So we danced a little bit, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I was dancing with no sleep in Boston. Wow, there was a wind chill of like 10 degrees. Oh no. Maybe less.
So you're never going back to Boston?
I might not.
No. I don't blame you.
And I have nothing but respect for everybody in the world.
Yeah.
I saw something that scared me to the point where, like, I really had to just, like, take a shower and think about
life.
I saw like 3 furries. You know what that is?
Oh my god, yeah.
I was so scared because I'm already scared of like mascots and animatronics at times, like those things. Yeah. I like Chuck E. Cheese where you think they're gonna come alive like robots. And then here I have a person with like a Bugs Bunny head coming at me. I'm like, whoa, you better back up. No. Like, what do you want to carrot? What do you
time to go.
What do you want to carrot? Like, I don't know. So that was scary as hell.
Yeah, I know.
And then after that, so we like you know my circumstances, right? And then
not good.
they were terrible. So we were so tired. We go back to his car. We went to a few food places. Then we go back to his car, and we take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
We wake up. It's like 7 p.m. It is very dark out, and instead of him going, oh, we could drive. We didn't even park next to the garden. It was in right. That's right. The garden.
Yeah.
We didn't park next to the garden. We parked driving distance, 15 minutes away. Do you know how much that is walking distance?
Like 45 minutes.
To an hour.
Yeah.
More like an hour.
Yeah. Especially with your circumstances.
So knowing my circumstances, and he didn't want to drive and find that garage or any garages. And plus, it was too late because it was nighttime, which is when everyone's coming in. So we walked in Boston, no idea where we're going. In the sheer cold, with the willpower that we had left, we walked an hour in the freezing night, not knowing where we were going. Phone's almost close to dying. All the way to Madison. I swear to God, when we found it, it was like we found the Holy Grail. Like
a pot of gold.
It was it was very satisfying. But like,
never going back.
Boston. Think about it. Like that's horrible.
Something always bad happens. Like weird.
My experience in Boston was very traumatizing.
Yeah, no.
There's all the pictures you see of me, besides the concert, were just angry.
Yeah, no.
Not a good
Never
time.
going back.
Okay. Changing it, and I think that's why. Just if you travel, just please be careful.
Yeah.
So coming back to this, so you were saying you were playing club volleyball. If I'm not, when were you playing that again?
My sophomore year, spring.
Did you also play junior and senior? Was there any reason for that?
I didn't like it.
Just because of the traveling thing?
Yeah, and like it's a lot of money. Like no one really talks about that. Like you're paying for the hotel, you're paying for like the gas.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like I every time I go to a tournament, like I wanted a sweatshirt for some reason.
I got you.
So like $80 sweatshirt.
So there's got to be scouts at those places, right?
Yeah. So there's like, I don't know specifically what the rule is, but Division I schools can't reach out to you. I think it's like September 1st or October 1st.
What about any other school? Like D2, D3?
Yeah, D3, D2 can reach out, I think, at any time. At least that's what like my experience was. But I always like, as an athlete, like always in the back of your head, you're like, oh, D1, like I want to go D1.
For sure.
But yeah, like D3 schools, the only issue with D3 schools is like a lot of them are private, so they're a lot of money, like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. No athletic money. You don't get athletic scholarship. So
even though you were a first team all academic, no scholarship.
No, like they can't. D3 can't give out athletic scholarships.
So was it? Wait, that's D3. But what about like not even for D1?
D1 gives out.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
No, yeah,
okay,
that's how a lot of people get recruited.
Yeah.
D1 is athletic. Like,
I got you. Yep.
Yeah, but no.
Okay.
D3 can't.
So junior year going into senior year, was that what was on your mind? Was that when the thoughts started creeping?
Yeah, so literally.
Because that was when you got your first all-state, right?
Junior year when I like started to get like all these accolades and like I realized like, oh wait, I'm like kind of good at this. I was like, why not like try? Because this was before COVID and everything. So I was like, all right. So I literally sat down with my softball coach because she was like big into like helping people with recruiting, and we like formulated this email and I sent it to like 50 schools, and obviously like people say no, people get back to you, like getting invited to like camps, like just sending film back and forth. Like if you do club, like a lot of times they'll come to the club games and like scout you out. But at that time I wasn't doing it my junior year.
Yeah.
So my recruiting process was solely technological, like
Gotcha.
all over email, all over phone call, whatever. So,
yeah.
And even more so into my senior year because of the pandemic.
Right.
Yeah. So
going from, I'm just trying to like put my circumstance into your shoes. Let me think. Because this is crazy. Because I'm like trying to think of what I was doing junior year. Like, you know, because it's crazy. So would you say college? Like, because college athletics. So college was on your mind junior year of high school.
Yeah, like at my school, I started thinking about college. Like I would say halfway through my junior year. You have to do the Common App, obviously. Yeah. Your senior year, like beginning of your senior year.
Did you do the SAT and everything?
Yeah. So.
What'd you end up getting? You don't need to out yourself. I was terrible. So I was talking
Thank
about
God,
that with somebody
like,
today.
For my class especially, like they had the SAT optional. Took full advantage of that.
Oh, God bless you.
That's crazy.
I
only took the SAT once, and it was through the school, so I didn't have to pay for anything.
Yeah.
Because of my class, like that.
Hey, all I'm saying is, anybody listening and watching, I appreciate you. Please subscribe. But I will say okay, I've gotten this response so many times. It's very cliche. Yes, apply yourself to your academics.
Yes.
But I'm going to tell you this right now. Now, I was not a slouch when it came to school. I was always a middle of the pack, average Joe.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not a bad thing, people. I'm just saying. I didn't get all A's. I'm at a D1 school. I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, if you want the scholarship section, I could use that money. So, actually, I just totally lied. Yeah, no, you should try, because I could really use some funds. But that's cool. So, are you allowed to share, like, what other schools were reaching out?
So, first, like, I did not want to play in college. So, my junior year, I was, like, applying to, I think, like, 17 schools. I had to have, like, multiple meetings with my guidance counselor. She was like, you need to bring this list down. You need to bring this list down. And I was like, all I wanted to do was just, like, get out of Connecticut, which is ironic now. But, like, I was applying to, like, ASU, like...
Really?
UNC was, like, my reach school.
Did you ever apply? Just, like, was that more, like, apply just to apply?
And I
or
wish
was that...
I did, because, like, I was going to apply to UNC just, like, see, but... in, like, that mindset, like, when you're, like, doing all those applications, I was like, all right, I just don't have time for this. Because some of those applications are, like, crazy in-depth.
Yeah.
Like, 4 essays. I was like, yeah, no, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was applying to, like, 15, 16, 17 schools. And then I was, like, I kind of got farther in the recruiting process. And I was like, oh, like, I could play in college if I really wanted to. So then I sat down and I was, like, narrowed it down, like, after the entire mess of the recruiting process, my senior year. I applied to Sacred Heart, Southern Connecticut, and Central. Those the only 3 schools I applied to.
Really?
Yeah. And
so of all these things, like, that's where you truly applied?
Yeah. Like, through the Common App.
So you could have joined the ops. That's crazy.
But gotta stay true.
Yeah, there you go.
No, but, like, what would happen so many times was, like, you'd get so far in the process with a school, and then they'd just be like, when COVID hit, that was a disaster. Like even with Central, like, I was supposed to come to a camp, and, like, because of COVID, the camp got canceled. So then it's, like, there was, like, a 3 to 4 month period, like, right after COVID hit my senior year, where, like, no schools were answering, like, getting ghosted by everyone pretty much.
That's crazy.
Like, any, like, remote offer that I had, like, through the, like, it was, so I hit a point where I was like, oh, do I even want to play anymore?
Yeah. But eventually you chose Central. So what was that process like? Like, what put Central over the others? What was the process like for you?
So pretty much I was, like, so fed up with, like, the recruiting process.
Yeah.
It was, like, October of my senior year. So by that point, everyone's like, your roster's done. You're done recruiting. I was like, it was right before my first game of my senior year, and I was like, oh, let me just, like, email them again. Like, let me just see what they say, because, like, at this point, like, what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
They emailed me back, and then, like, my head coach set up a phone call with me, and they offered me a spot on, like, a Monday or Tuesday, and then I had signed that Friday.
That's nuts.
It was crazy.
For your signing day, because if I'm not mistaken, every high school athlete that has a signing day, a lot of people watch, or they like to watch. Were there a lot of people there for you, or was it just like family? Yeah, that's right.
So my school, my school did, like, I was, like, the first person to, like, sign outside. So, like, I literally had a table outside near the tennis courts with, like, my AD, my coach, and my parents sign my note, and then
that's crazy. So, what was it like for you during COVID when shit hit the fan? I love hearing everyone's COVID story.
Yeah, so
it doesn't. We're in 2023. Does that make sense?
No, not at all. I'm gonna be 20 in, like, 2 months.
That doesn't make sense.
No, not at all.
How did this happen? How did we get here?
Not sure.
Yeah. Then you know what's crazy? This room was, like, ground zero.
Yeah. And
it still feels like it was like that, like, yesterday, like, during COVID, because that's when I was, like, trying to, like, figure shit out. But That's nuts. So when things first hit the fan, what was it like for
Oh
you?
my God.
Because I could tell you what happened at Central. Because I
Really?
was there.
Oh my
It was
God.
nuts.
Yeah.
But you say
So,
what you gotta say.
I actually was one of the people who went to school like the day everything shut down, which a lot of people didn't go. And I talked to people, and they're like, my parents made me stay home. I was like, my mom was like, you're going to school, like nothing's like happening.
So I'm trying to think because
It was like March 13th.
so I know the NBA shut down
Mm-hmm.
the night before. At least Central
Yeah.
closed down in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So was it that day when you went to school?
It was like a 13th. It was like March 13th or 14th.
it must have been
I
that day
remember.
because that morning. It
I-
still did. I mean, we were hearing things, but it wasn't.
It wasn't
too bad.
Yeah.
And then grocery stores just
Oh,
got
yeah.
depleted, and everybody just couldn't find toilet paper to
Yeah.
save their lives, which is nuts.
I went to school. I was in ceramics class.
Not the ceramics.
Yeah, it was crazy.
No.
Yeah, and I was like on my phone. I actually made a TikTok that day and it went viral.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was of?
It was something dumb, like about math. I don't know. It was dumb.
Yeah.
But I was in ceramics class and I remember like we were all sitting there and it's like hearing about all the other schools in the area, like they're off for 2 weeks, whatever.
Were you just praying that you got the
Yeah.
same thing?
So we're literally like, it was a free for all. Like honestly, like everyone was just walking around the halls, like, oh, we're off for 2 weeks. Like everyone was so happy. I remember like I got home, my mom got back from the grocery store with like packets of like disinfectant wipes and like all this shit, and I was like,
Yeah.
what is going on? Like, and my parents were like, more my mom was like a little bit crazy about it.
Yep.
But she's a mom, so like understandable.
Of course.
But I remember like at first everyone was like so excited, and then like I think everyone can agree like that first week and a half into lockdown, everyone was kind of like because then you start hearing about everything that's going on outside of the country.
People are dying.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Once I heard people were dying, I was like, oh shit.
I think
like,
I heard something where it was especially out because the UI like we were bad, we were strict, but
Yeah.
you're not what was going on
Oh my
outside.
God.
I heard in Italy they like if you even stepped a foot outside, you're getting arrested.
Oh
or
my
something.
god, yeah. People are getting like tackled in the streets. Like it was crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but I remember like just like I would just like play Xbox all day. And like my mom, like I was not allowed to go through the Starbucks drive-thru, which was horrible for me cuz like I love my Starbucks.
Yeah.
Like I would have friends like dropping stuff off in the mailbox for me or like in my driveway. I did like the pull your cars in a circle, sit in the trunk and like talk to your friends in like my high school parking lot.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Did you ever end up getting COVID?
yeah.
How many? Once or multiple times?
All right. So
right.
I had it actually a year ago.
Okay.
This week.
Do you still remember?
Yeah, I got my year ago today, and I was like, oh my god. It was bad.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but did you get the vaccine?
Yeah.
Did you get it after or before?
Before, because I was required to have it to like not required, but like
Did it rock you?
the COVID
Like
or the vaccine.
The vaccine, like the second
When I
time.
got my booster, that took me out. Like
was
that.
bad.
Oh my god, I got so.
I didn't even know
sick.
a person could feel like that.
Neither did I. I was like, I feel like I have COVID right now. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So, when you actually were sick, no, not good.
It was brutal.
What like how did it feel?
Like I had like a really bad sore throat for a couple days, and I was like, all right, like usually it'll go away, whatever. Took a test, and then it all just hit me like 2 days later. Like my eyes were like watering so bad. I wasn't like coughing. I was just sneezing so much, and so tired. I remember I was like quarantining with my teammate Kaylin, because she was my roommate at the time, so we both had it.
Mm-hmm.
And we would like go to put laundry like in the washer, out of breath, like couldn't do it.
That's nuts.
I was like, yo, I gotta take a break because
Yeah.
I'm like heaving right now.
What do you think is scarier? I just totally thought of this. Then this is COVID in its prime.
Yeah.
Like when you thought you were gonna die if you
Scary.
had it.
Yeah.
What's scarier? Doing a test and finding out that you're pregnant? Or finding out that you had COVID in 2020?
Like honestly, COVID in 2020. Because
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
any like level of fear can reach that.
Yeah,
like,
no,
that
it was so bad.
manic episode.
We won't be able to express to our children how.
No.
Yeah,
Ever.
I still remember. So my mom is a nurse.
Oh my god.
And it was so funny because I was always a homebody. I'm still a homebody. And all my friends were still going out, and they weren't getting it, but eventually, like, they did.
Yeah.
And here I am. I'm like, guys, I gotta, like, my mom's telling me to stay safe. Like, but I wasn't. It was one of those things where she's like, you're staying in the house. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't like, I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
So eventually, when my mom was telling me, she goes, they're getting as many nurses as possible in the hospitals, and everyone's working overtime, and it's so bad. And she's like, and then I started listening to, what is this guy, Dr. Fauci, the old guy, and everyone's TV. And eventually, and you just heard that if you were a nurse, there's a very high chance you're probably gonna get it. So I'm just sitting here in my house, like, it's inevitable. Just like,
waiting.
Just like you see that little window right there, just like looking,
like through the curtains.
like my time is coming. And
That's so funny.
And my mom, she eventually got it, and you know what was crazy? And this was when I started to hear those rumors, which actually turned out to be true. And I don't want to get like too like political or whatever, but like when you heard that COVID wasn't as bad as what people, like, you're not gonna die if you get it. More likely than not. So my mom got it, and that's when I was starting to hear those things. And rather than like, oh, Mom, like, are you okay? I was like, God damn it, I gotta clean everything in the house. I gotta disinfect this. Like, are we serious? You became Mom. Yeah, and I was so mad. And she was masked up upstairs, and I had to like wear plastic gloves and like bring it up to her. Oh, like, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy times.
Yeah.
So, would you say mentally, your mental health took a toll or anything during that time? Were you living your best life? Did you go out and explore, go on adventures, go hiking? What'd you end up doing?
Like, me personally, I don't have like problems like being alone and like keeping to myself. So like that was fine. Like, I would just watch Netflix all day and like chill, FaceTime friends. But like the long term like effects of it, like going back to school for the first time and like being in like social like. And
you were in college the first time, or were you back? Did you experience any? You did, right? Yeah. Like, did you?
So
did you experience any little bit of high school when?
Yeah. So it happened. Like what, March of my junior year.
March of 2020.
Yeah, March of my junior year.
Everyone was done from that spring to the fall. Right?
I was out of school for the rest of the year. The summer, obviously no school.
Yep.
Went back to school.
So spring of 21 is when you graduated high school.
Yeah.
And did you like get to experience a prom? Nothing.
So at my school, prom is junior year. So I had There's only a junior prom? Yeah, so at my school
what the hell?
Junior prom, senior cotillion, but now it's switched because of COVID. Yeah.
So pretty much the right thing happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
It took a pandemic.
Pretty much.
For your high school.
Yeah.
What the hell's a cotillion?
It's like a ball, but like it's short dresses. I don't know. I never had one, so I don't know. Yeah.
What are they doing?
But I had like my dress and everything, and then canceled. They had it's supposed to be in May. Obviously, didn't happen. Then there was talk about them doing it in the summer. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I had prom in spring of my senior year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't. We have like class night at my school for like athletes. Yep. Didn't have that.
Okay.
I had graduation. I know a lot of people didn't.
Oh, probably didn't happen because of COVID. Well, at least from what you've heard at your high school, did they do one of those day before graduation, like all-nighter type things at the school?
Mm-mm.
That's what mine did.
Really?
I didn't go to it, but you stay up till like 4 a.m. They get a hypnotist, and like everyone wins free prizes and stuff.
We didn't have that.
Damn.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of stuff. Now that I think about it,
you seem like you went through a lot.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like you had no business being found.
Yeah.
Like it's a good thing you actually went out of your way to like reach out to me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like I'm cooking over here.
Yeah. Literally, no one talks about like the recruiting process during the pandemic. Like
that must have been hell.
Except for like when I got to campus and I actually talked to like people in my class and I was like, all right, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
Like people would be like fully committed to another school and then it's like, oh yeah, actually, sorry, like we don't have a spot for you anymore. Which, like, that thankfully never happened to me. But I did have instances where they were like, okay, like, you're going to come on this visit, you're going to do this, this, and this. And then it's like, hey, just checking in. Like, are we still good for it? Oh, yeah, no, sorry, we're not pursuing you in the... And then, I've
heard some dark stories about D1 recruiting process, especially, like, football. I heard that... I heard it's, like, a whole corrupt
My brother...
thing.
Mm-mm. Like, it is bad. How, like, it's like a business.
Oh, no, it is.
It is crazy. Like,
yeah.
he was, like, verbally committed to a school.
Mm-hmm.
A D3 school where, like I said before, like, money is, like, a big thing with those schools, like, those private colleges. And they basically, they weren't giving him enough money, basically. Like, he had other schools that were giving him more money. But he really liked this school, so he basically had to come back and say, I'm getting more money from these other schools. Like, can we work something out? Just completely took his offer away.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. And, like...
Just because... Really?
Yeah. Like, a lot of coaches are, like, no BS. Like...
That's ridiculous.
But, yeah, he would, like... He was... Like, he went to Yale, Cornell... Brown, like, all these crazy... He drove down to Villanova.
That's
like,
crazy.
He's brutal, but, like...
Yeah.
He sits and talks to me, like, when I come home from school, and I'm like, volleyball is, like, completely different.
Yeah, no, football is because...
It's
football is America's sport.
Yeah.
And you know how people get over football.
Oh, yeah.
I know how I get with my football team. But my friend once told me, because he post-graded and went to... Cheshire Academy, and he was telling me stories of how some of his teammates got recruited to like a school, and here's what they would do for a tactic that other than what you hear stories of like paying players under the table,
oh my God,
stuff like that.
That's a thing, by the way.
Yeah, players are like pulling up to college in like Lambos and covered in tats. It's like, where did you get the money for all that? But
it's just
the whole stipend thing. Yeah, but apparently. So let's say number one, like random example, like I'm not saying this has happened or did happen, but let's use like number one prospect.
Yeah.
What are you gonna try and do to get like a top 10 prospect on your team? What they try and do is, what I've heard is, they'll send an offer to like their best friend on the team, or like a really good teammate of theirs, and then they'll, how do I say this? They'll try and get the better player that they want in the first place to commit, and then the friend will possibly get him, and then they'll like cut him or dismiss him. Like, like that is so that is so fucked up.
It's like emotional, kind of. Like, yeah.
No, it's dark stuff.
Yeah.
So now that you are in college, did you struggle to socialize coming into college? Did you struggle to socialize coming back from COVID? Did you like take a hit? Like, did you see people and like, oh, people, what the heck?
Not really. Like, I love meeting new people. I love talking. So I would say like socializing, no, but it was a little weird. Like, even not college, just like go back into high school. I was like, oh, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Going to college with masks was a little weird. I will say that. Like in class and stuff, like that was weird.
What sucked is because I work at the rec, we had to be like the mask police.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
I know.
Like I was trying to tell people, I'm with you.
Yeah.
If it were, gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah, like in lift and stuff, like we'd have to wear masks. Like that was a little hard. And then like, but with my team and stuff, like we're all around each other all the time. So like the mask thing really wasn't, like, obviously we'd wear them, but it wasn't really an issue.
Yeah.
But I would say like more in class, because like that's like an unforced social situation.
Right.
Where like you have to like you need to communicate with your classmates in order to like get your work done. So like I know, like me personally, like I love group work, so like not being able to do that also, like a lot of professors didn't really. It's
the best. So you slid into college pretty smooth?
Yeah.
Like nothing crazy?
No.
Like you haven't had to like overcome like a crazy hurdle or anything so far? Really? So like going into beginning of 2023, like since high school, nothing too bad?
I would say more like mentally from high school to college, it's a huge shift.
Because did you work in high school by any chance? Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I worked at a restaurant for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say
good for you, because some people they had to get used to going to work.
No, I work now too. Yep. So like at school I have a job, and then at home I have a job. But yeah, more mentally, I would say the shift athletically from high school to college is like, that was a slap in the face. Like a lot of people don't talk about that. But like socially, no. I like meeting new people, so.
Yeah. What are some things that you personally, whether it has to do with volleyball, whether it has to do with you as a person, do you expect of yourself? And honestly, this decade, like the rest of the decade, what would you say? Like, you have any goals? Do you want to be the person that has a nice house, a pool? Like, I don't know. Anything?
I expect way more of myself coming into this year than last year. Like, coming into college, like, I would say my freshman year, I was more like watching, kind of like
You're an observer?
Yeah, kind of just like getting a feel for the new environment, new people, new coaches, new play style, completely different. So I would say like I spent like my first year kind of learning, honestly, asking questions, because I'm in a completely different position than I was in high school. So like I play defense now instead of offense. So just learning, and now like knowing what I know and like being around like the talent that we have, I can like not match that athletically, but know what to expect of myself athletically. So
how does, besides lifting and conditioning or just watching past tape, but what can a volleyball player do, and this is for anyone listening in case they're interested, what can a volleyball player do to better their game? Is there any profession? Like, do you watch like higher tier colleges? Do you watch any professional stuff?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
I would say it really depends on where you are. So like I will watch like these like Big Ten schools, like, or like even on TikTok, like some of these girls like post about their experiences and stuff, and it's like it's crazy like what a coach expects at a different school. So like I would say for me personally, like at school, the best thing for us is like feedback from each other, honestly. Feedback from coach, and then like taking that feedback and putting it into action. Whereas I feel like a lot of other schools are way more physically demanding. Like I watch videos on TikToks of girls like who do the beep test, and they're like on the volleyball team, and I'm like, whoa, like.
What, do you want to see what the beep test is for anybody that doesn't
It's like
know?
the pacer test, I think. Running test, like, and that was a huge misconception I had coming into school, was like so much running, so much conditioning, like.
You know they got rid of the pacer?
No, I know you know what the pacer is.
No, I'm saying they got rid of it.
Oh, really?
For at least in this town.
Are you serious?
Apparently, it's a form of child abusement or like child punishment, because
you're
like outing like the kid in front of everybody if they suck.
What? I used to go off in the pacer test. I love the pacer test.
I was horrible
Really?
in middle school because I was like a little meatball. But in high school when I was playing football, I'll never forget this. Freshman year when I started playing, I was still out of shape, but like freshman year, the jump from freshman to junior year, because that was the last year we had to do it.
Yeah.
Freshman year, for a male at like 13 years old, had to get minimum, I think it was like a 25, 24.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I'll still never forget this. The teacher who had the, like one of those clipboards, and it says the numbers that everyone in your age and gender have to get.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget, she said anybody that had questions, that she would like look at it and like look at the kid and say, you have to get this.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, she looked down and looked up and said, Mario, you have to get like a 25. And I was like,
no way.
There's no way I'm going to get a 25. And I know I'm making this so much more dramatic than it needs to be, but it was such a major accomplishment.
Yeah.
It was like 20, and I was like, you would thought I ran a marathon, and I made it to 25, and I like dove with the thing, because you know how you get that one pass, like to take a break. I took my break at like 18, 17, and I don't know if I could do this, and I made it, and I've never seen a teacher get so hyped for a student.
Yeah.
Like I was just laying there, I thought I was gonna die.
That's crazy.
And then
they got rid of it.
no, but so that was freshman year.
Yeah.
And then junior year, it's not a flex because I know people that have gotten like 100 something.
God,
like they maxed the thing out. I'm like, you're crazy. But I was running stride for stride in like the 60s with like a track girl who's like super skinny, runs not marathons, but like the long distance stuff. And I'm going for stride, and I did it. Like she obviously beat me, but like that Like it's crazy the amount of improvements you can make throughout high school.
Yeah.
If you do a sport.
Oh yeah.
Which is another great thing. A great way to make friends. Like, do you have any close friends to this day that you played?
Yeah.
It's the best
Still
way to make
talk
friends.
them. Yeah.
So so you said that you expect more out of yourself. What? So you would say like from the physical aspect,
Yeah.
like just doing more. And
Yeah.
So you have that, and you are now in your second year of college.
Mm-hmm.
What's your major and what do you want to be?
Psychology.
What do you want to do with that? That's my minor, by the way.
I don't know.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
I still have no idea what I want to do either.
I just love learning about like why people are the way they are. Like, as crazy as that sounds.
Do you like watching certain shows where it's like maybe like serial killer show?
Yes.
Or you love learning.
Oh my
God.
God.
You ever seen Dexter?
Yeah, I love Dexter.
Have you seen the whole thing?
No, because I got to do you ever get to a point in a show where like you get like really deep into it and then you just like kind of forget about it? That's what happened with
No,
Dexter.
if I get deep into a show, I finish it.
No, I would it became like a routine, and I would like watch it like if I was like cleaning my room or like whatever, and then I would just like, or like a new show comes out and like it takes over.
No,
I never finished it, but that was a really good show.
You need to finish that.
Yeah.
Because they did I guess you could say spin-off last, what was it, January of 22? Yeah. And they like finished it off for good, and oh my God, it was so good. Yeah, you got to get back into that. There's some movies like Silence of the Lambs.
I've never seen that.
No? With Hannibal Lecter. Oh, that's a creepy movie. That's a really good one too. No,
I like the ones that are like true, like
based on a true story.
Yeah,
well,
where
I
they
think,
like go through, like they have like the actual video of like the
oh
killer.
man, so
Those are scary.
have you ever seen the story of OJ, or where it was Cuba Gooding Jr. who played as OJ Simpson?
So, yeah.
That one was awesome. That one came out when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff. Yeah, you
It's
definitely
so
get a taste.
interesting.
Yeah.
And it's like there was one that came out recently. I think it happened like within the last like 10 years. It was the guy who killed like his wife and 2 like young kids, and like that was just like to see how like he portrayed himself as like such a normal guy, and then behind the scenes like he was having an affair, and like he lost his job, but he had this like facade that is like
so you definitely seen Dahmer, right?
Yeah,
so Dahmer, there was the Ted Bundy movie with Zac Efron. Did you see that?
Yeah.
There's the Bundy tape. There's so many things on Netflix. They have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the Dahmer one was scary.
Have you ever seen Black Mirror? No.
I've seen like episodes of it on TikTok, like when they post like the little
they've got certain things like that in Black Mirror.
Yeah.
That's like the modern day Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
No, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
And I will say, I mean, I don't know. Did you ever shit talk on the court back in high school? Cause like every time I see volleyball and you do your thing, you just scream and like turn around to your team and like, ugh.
Yeah,
like, what's up? Like I would go crazy.
I was a huge celebrator.
Yeah.
Like even like I look back at pictures, like I always was like screaming. Like I never shit talk though, cause like it's not like a contact sport.
It's not.
So like, what are you gonna do? Like go to the net?
I mean, if you're competitive, like let's say you like met someone at the net and you're like, you little like.
I would, if I was playing against a friend, always shit talk them.
Oh, yeah.
Just like get in their head.
Yeah.
But if it's like a complete stranger, I'm not gonna be like, you suck. Like no, I don't.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Nah, I might do rec volleyball because like it sucks I don't get to graduate in the spring, just the way my schedule aligned. Not even this one. I'm just thinking like spring of 24. Yeah, because like I don't get an extra season of, like rec basketball and stuff like that. But if I don't want to like do nothing in the fall because all the best sports are in the spring. So I might just do volleyball, like fuck around, wear a headband, just talk shit. Because I'm one of those people. I'm super competitive.
Yeah.
But I also find a way to be chill with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might have to do that.
It's
That'd be
so
fun. Yeah.
fun.
So like if I met someone at the net, because I mean I don't know rotations. I don't know where I'll go.
Yeah.
But like yeah, you're the expert, not me. Yeah, if I was tall and I was in the front and I met someone, oh my God,
it's over.
You wouldn't hear the end of it, and you got to hear that from me for what? Because because whoever's on my team, we're winning in 3.
Oh yeah,
are you
has to be.
You shitting me?
It has to be winning in 3.
Yeah,
it's gotta be.
Yeah, So I don't know if you've ever heard this story or if I ever told you like outside. Because for those who don't know, we had a class. Well, not together.
Oh my God.
It She hit the first block.
Yeah.
And then I had the second block. And it was from, if you were to picture what it would be like if like a scarecrow or a raven. Like the darkest thing was a teacher. That's what we had.
That was her.
She doesn't deserve her name to be spoken out of her
name
mouth.
dropping.
No name dropping.
No.
So
that teacher, man.
That's how we knew each other. But the first game I saw you guys play was I forget the team. I just remember it was a road game, and there was nothing better to do. At least for me, like I'm telling you, I'm chilling. So I had nothing better to do, and I'm just chilling in this room, and I'm just looking at the TV. And I go, I think volleyball's playing. I should give that a watch. So I threw it on, and I'm watching these two teams just absolutely dog it out, and I'm amazed. I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on?
It's so fun.
And I'm just chilling here with a glass of wine watching with college women's volleyball, and I'm just like amazed. And then my brother calls me. It's the fifth set. I knew that was the final set, but I didn't know that it's first to 15.
Yeah.
So I'm on the phone with him.
Oh,
and he's talking to me, and then all of a sudden, it felt like a second. I look up, and you guys are storming the court. I'm like, what? And I was like, yo, did I miss something? Like 15, the game's not over. Like, why are they celebrating? And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, that was cool.
Yeah.
To see you guys do your thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how your coach is or like what's demanded, or because I know certain colleges, like you said, they all have different rules and different. But oh my God, if. Maybe. Hey, I've always said it. I would love to be a girl dad. If I had a girl, oh my God, she's playing volleyball.
Yeah,
hopefully she does sports. I'm not gonna pressure her into it.
But if it's volleyball.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I want my kid because I was always the athlete that. I was the definition of shut up and dribble. like the complete opposite. Like we will not do that. I was like, no, I'm good. You tell me what to do. You won't hear from me. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Whatever you need to hear from me. So. Yeah, I definitely want my kids to be confident, and you can back that up.
Yeah.
But with their play,
yeah.
So they talk the talk and walk the walk.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than that.
No, yeah.
So, obviously, last season was disappointing. Mm-hmm. I know I've talked to a couple of your teammates. What was your viewpoint on the season, and what do you hope? Because everyone's saying I want that ring, and ring season is that. I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Mm-hmm. That you guys want?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the ultimate thing.
Yeah, definitely, because majority of our team is leaving next season. This season will be their last season. A lot of them are not taking their fifth year. So I feel like now is like...
Is this the last? Is this the last dance?
It has to be. Like now, we gotta work now.
Yeah.
Like now is the time. So I cannot wait for spring to start. And
how long is spring training for?
How does that
work?
practice next week.
Actually playing volleyball?
Uh-huh.
Really?
And then we have scrimmages. We'll do tournaments. So we'll go to Yale and play 4 games.
Oh, so you're actually gonna get some legit work in.
Yeah. And we lift 3 times a week. And
you get to play with so the whole roster, new team, the whole nine. Or is there anybody that's not? You need to
the new girls come in the fall. So right now it's just
just whoever's there already.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's pretty legit.
It's so fun.
Do you ever get have you ever gotten nervous before games? Do you ever even in high school?
No.
Yeah.
Never.
Not in high school?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, before an important game, a states game, I'd be a little nervous.
Did you walk around your shit didn't stink? I'm fucking legit.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I would have done the same.
But
that's awesome.
That was a huge thing, high school to college. Before I was talking about mentally, I never struggled with anxiety, any of that.
Really?
Yeah. Once I got to college, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that must have been nice to enjoy that feeling because it doesn't last forever.
No, it doesn't.
No, that's sick.
Yeah.
Did you ever get treated differently by your fellow students or anything? Because they were like, oh my God, that's Alexis. She's a fucking monster.
Not differently, but when I'm in class when they're like, oh, what's your major? A fun fact, always gotta say you're on a sports team for a fun fact.
Oh yeah, fun fact, I'm a fucking dog.
So when it gets brought up in conversation, people are like, oh my God, that's insane. And half the time I'm like, it's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm not it's so cool. I'm it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And
the life of a college athlete is crazy.
I had this conversation in my research methods class this morning at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because we were talking about like possible topics for our papers, and I was telling them, I was like, last year I wrote a paper about how COVID affected mental health of student athletes. And I was like, if anyone wants to, like, that's a really interesting topic. And then we got into the, like, subject of playing sports, whatever. And I was like, yeah, like, next week, my wake up is going to be, like, 6 a.m. every day because either I have class or practice. And I'm not going to be in bed until 10, 11 o'clock doing homework. So
no, it's
nonstop.
Unreal.
It's nonstop.
And plus, you got to stay in, I mean, unless you had a house right off campus. But, like, for the most part, you got to live on campus.
Yeah, well, next year, I'm gonna be off campus.
I mean, that's what's up. That's the way to do it. Because, oh, my God, I couldn't imagine living in a dorm. I couldn't do it.
All 4 years? No.
No way.
No. It's fun, like, the first year.
I'm sure it is.
But, yeah, I'm, like, ready for that change. That'll be fun.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's crazy. So, hold on, let me think. So, in high school, you were as confident as hell. Like, how do I word this? Let me think. I'm just trying to imagine, like, if I was in the shoes. So, you were the top. Was there, like, what other, you could say the towns if you want.
Yeah.
Who were the other towns, like, the people you shared the first team all state with?
So they do it by, like, class. So, like, Connecticut, it's, like, S, M, L, double L.
I know we have L.
Yeah, so, like, a girl on my team, Kaylin, who I talked about before.
Yep.
She was in class M with me in high school. So, like, I look back now and, like, the list of, like, the all-state, and, like, we were in it together. But I had, like, obviously no idea who she was. I'd never played against her school.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so, like, they'll do it by class. So, like, my teammate Maddie, what is Newington, L or double L? I think L. I know
there's at least one L in there.
Yeah. But like I never was in like any of the same. We'd get the same award, but like different categories. If that makes sense.
Our men's volleyball team had like a dynasty. I don't know if you ever heard about that.
Oh yeah, she would tell me.
And I mean, shout out to Maddie. Her name's on the all-state wall.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
They take it very serious.
Yeah,
there.
we have that at my school too. Like you walk in the gym, it's like all the banners.
So do you have a name up there too?
Yeah, too.
Yeah. Your name up there twice.
Yeah, that is like.
That's a crazy
and my brother
flex.
too. We're on there together.
Yeah, that's crazy. If you ever decide to become a parent one day, you just like, take your kid when they're able to comprehend. No. You're just like, oh yeah, look at all these names. So just casually.
Just wait
like,
for them to see.
Yeah, they're like, oh, is that you? And you're like, oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I played volleyball in case you want to play. I mean, I was okay.
That was like my goal in high school. I was like, I need to get up there.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I played football. Obviously, not a football like body. Like, for the position I played in the NFL, they're like 2 feet taller.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I always said and I have no regrets. If I could go back, I would have just like played tennis.
Really?
Headband, racket.
Yeah. Well, nice and easy.
Yeah.
Not as like physically.
I mean, because like the thing is I've played a lot of sports, but there's never been one where I could say I was the absolute best at it.
Yeah.
So I wonder what happens when I die and I go, God, what sport was I like the best? I'd be like, oh yeah, it's actually not really a sport, it's chess. I'm like, what? Like, what are we talking about? No, but that's awesome. I want to make sure that we get you off on a really good note, and believe me, I can keep talking as long as you want, but I just want to make sure that we cover these 3 things.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I asked?
Yes.
Okay, you think you're ready to answer them?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with favorite show and or movie, or both. It could be favorite or one that you have to recommend. Like if nobody's seen it, have to watch it, or both.
Show? I'm not a big show watcher.
That's fair.
Like I said before, like I go.
Yeah, no, that's shows. No. It's just whatever you want to recommend.
Movie. I really like. This is gonna sound so dumb. I really like The Hunger Games. Like, that was...
The first one, or...
All of them. But if I had to pick one, the first one.
Yeah. Did you read all the books, too?
Yeah. Like...
That's a throwback. I haven't heard that one.
Because everyone...
Nobody's seen The Hunger Games.
When I think of, like, newer movies, I'm like, none of them I really like...
Shout out Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah.
Dude, those books were fun. Middle school reading was fun.
Yeah.
That's when I was reading The Hunger Games, Lightning Thief...
Yeah.
I mean, there was the Goosebumps.
I loved Goosebumps.
Goosebumps series.
I had the whole, like, on my bookshelf, like, stacked.
It was such a major flex.
Yeah.
If people heard you had certain books and
Yeah.
didn't, like,
No.
we really had it
If
good.
you had Goosebumps, you were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Let's go artist and or album or both that you would have to recommend if nobody's heard
Okay.
of the individual or band or album.
Right now, SZA, like we talked about this before, her new album, so good.
Do you have like a top 3 favorite songs off it or absolute favorite song?
Special.
Yep.
So good.
Nice.
Nobody Gets Me. Top 2.
Well, how did
I
you
also like-
discover SZA? Was it from her Control album?
Yeah.
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 And how did you stumble across
Like,
her?
a majority of these songs are just, like, on, like, TikTok. I would say, like, during quarantine, too, like, a lot of those songs were, like, really popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember the album that just came out, I didn't listen to it right away. I was like, let me give myself some time to, like, actually appreciate it. Because her album and Drake's album came out relatively, like,
they did
close.
That was pretty epic.
So I listened to Drake's album, like, while I was, like, doing stuff around my room or, like, driving. And then I was, like, actually sat down and listened to SZA's album. And I was like,
It's incredible.
oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I've been looking for the, I don't know about I'm pretty sure anybody could get the Control vinyl. Because obviously I have vinyls here. But do you ever listen to Rihanna?
A little bit.
Her album from 2016, I don't know how you pronounce it. Anti. I always call it Anti. I don't know. But you can't get that vinyl anywhere.
Really?
Like, you'd be surprised. Like, you can't, like, unless you, like, made your own. But, like, even you have to have the actual music rather than having, like, the little thing. Yeah, no, some of them are hard to find. Hers is hard to find.
Yeah.
But those are solid recommendations for sure.
Yeah. And, like, old Drake, too.
Old Drake.
That's, like, everyone's answer.
Old Drake, SZA, and the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I would have never
Throwing it
expected.
back.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, of all the movies, I respect that.
Like, because that's, like, a classic. Like, you could just sit
is.
down and be like, oh, like, the Hunger Games, like.
Oh! Before we get to one of the last things, you met Logan Paul.
Oh, my God. Yes, I did.
I'm totally glad that I just remembered this. How the hell did that happen? And how did, like, what was that like? Were you starstruck?
Yeah. Like, you would have thought I was, like, a 13-year-old boy. Like, so it was every year in my town, it's the rival football game between the two high schools, foreign and law. I went to law. And I'm, like, in my dorm, and my friend, like, who's a couple years older than me, texted me. She's like, are you going to the game? Like, I heard Logan Paul's going to be there. I'm like, whoa, what? So then I text my brother. My brother's the quarterback. So I'm like, oh, he's got to know. So I text him. He's like, dude, like, yeah, like, it's a huge rumor. He's, like, telling me that, like, town hall, like, sat down and, like, had a meeting of, like, how they're going to get security for it.
But what was the reason for them going?
So pretty much the guy Mike Malak, I think is how you say it.
Is that the guy who you got a picture with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from Milford, where I'm from.
That's crazy.
So he went to foreign, like, however many years ago. And this game was, like, the first year where both schools were going to states in, like, town history. Yeah.
Did you guys win?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
Big game.
Yeah.
Paul, was it just Logan? Or was Jake
yeah,
there
it was
too?
Logan and Mike.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And did Logan come from Puerto Rico, or was he already in the U.S.?
I don't know.
I didn't even know that.
Literally, I was sitting there and, like, I was on the other side, and this, like, big black Suburban, like, backs into the. I'm like, what is going on, you know? And then, like, I was sitting with my friend, and, like, they had, like, this little section in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah.
And like, we ran down over there, and they, like, came to the fence, and it was so cool.
That's sick.
Yeah, I was like, I would never have thought. Like, I just came to watch my brother play, and Logan Paul is here. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, that's pretty damn cool.
It was crazy.
Do you have thoughts on the brother Jake? An opinion on him? Do you think he's a punk? Do you think he's cool?
Like, do you know, like, when you were younger, there was, like, Low Gang and, like, the Paulers?
Yeah, of course.
I was a Low Gang stan.
Really?
I thought he was annoying. Jake Paul. He, like,
yeah. I was always a Logan guy.
I was like, he was just annoying me, and, like...
Now, they were awesome on Vine when they popped off.
Yeah.
Vine was the shit.
Yeah.
I
love Vine.
Okay, so, like, I still use TikTok. I'm cool with TikTok, but man, Vine was
nothing beats
like
that.
I wish Vine stayed.
Yeah.
Like if everyone wanted to have Vine be the, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like if we had Vine now, it'd be way better.
It could be better, but the thing is,
like, people would just be like,
what do you think would be worse though? Because I'm hearing that people's attention spans are starting to
Drop.
and
Yeah.
TikTok is constant stimulation and like seeing short clips. And we were literally just talking about this before we aired, how people remember like the hook to a song and not know anything else. And that like Steve Lacy is like the biggest.
Oh my
he
God.
suffered the most from it because
When he like called him out in his
yeah,
concert.
yeah, everyone in his concert was sang the hook, and then nobody like they went quiet after. It's like y'all some like fuck y'all. It's true.
Yeah.
But that's why it can help for sure, but it also hurt.
Yeah.
Because now concerts that's embarrassing.
Yeah. That's why if I go to a concert, I gotta be sure I know like every song, or else if I and like majority of the song.
What concerts have you been to?
Not a lot. The last concert I went to was like Florida Georgia Line, my like sophomore year of high school, and it was like Thomas Rhett.
Didn't Florida Georgia Line sing "Windows Down" right? And Cruise? Yeah. Nice.
That's a classic.
Of course.
I want to see, like we were talking about before, I want to see Drake so bad with 21 Savage.
Yeah.
I would die.
That
like
would
there.
be nuts.
Or like Kanye. Great
You
music.
you're not gonna see a Kanye concert
For
in a minute.
no.
It's weird. Like you can obviously Kanye not the best dude at the moment. But every time you go to a Kanye concert, it is nuts.
It's like an acid trip. Like it doesn't seem real. So yeah, SZA too.
Have you ever been to the Xfinity?
Yeah, that's where the
CCSU?
FGO was. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been there. Is it nice over there? Because my problem is I don't want to go to because like everyone goes to concerts these days for. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go for the music.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
trying to go for the music, and I'm not. I don't want people passed out in front of me and they're getting into fights, and I'm like, dude.
I will say, like, literally the genre, like, of music that is there is the type of crowd you're gonna get. Like when I rolled up to Florida Georgia Line, everyone's wearing short shorts and cowboy hats. Everyone's like hugging, dancing, whatever. That was a good time. But
I didn't need a cowboy.
I know
hat.
my friends who like went to like Wiz Khalifa or like Juice WRLD when Juice WRLD was still alive. Brutal. Like I'm home. I wasn't allowed to go to those concerts.
Yeah.
So I'm getting like videos of me like them at the concert, like people getting rolled out in
I've heard
ambulances.
some crazy stories.
Oh my God. My friends had to like jump a fence one time to leave. Like it was crazy.
The one and no, this wasn't the only time. But like the one time, so I used to work at a concert theater, which was I was working at this place right before COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had the number one job where it was like that is not happening.
Yeah.
Where people are in the same area, blah blah blah. And so we had one of our rules was no smoke because it was indoors.
Mm-hmm.
No smoking allowed in the area.
Yeah.
So if one person's smoking, you could tell them to put it out.
Yeah.
But if everybody's doing it,
No stopping
you have to
it.
accept it.
Yeah.
So there'd be certain rap concerts where I'm going from a security guard to one of them. I'm like, dude, this music's crazy. This music, is crazy. Yeah, that was, and then after the rap concerts, which I just described.
Yeah.
Right after that, we would go to like Denny's at midnight, right after shift, and they would think that we were a part of the crowd.
Yeah.
Like they all the employees, because we would come in smelling crazy, and we're like, you don't understand.
No, you can't control it.
we were too, you know what, trying
Yeah.
to explain our circumstances. But
Yeah.
concerts are a vibe.
Yeah.
I do, man. I will say, as time goes by, I'm starting to grow on the country.
Yeah. Okay.
I used to grow up because my mom hates country, and
Yeah.
I used to just. It's one of those things you say what your parents say.
Yeah.
And the thing is it's kind of true
Yeah.
with country.
Yeah.
It's about like 3 of the same things.
Yeah.
Girl broke
know
up with
exactly.
you. Girl broke up with you, and you're trying to get on with life. You're just gonna go out and have a good time.
With the boys.
And then I don't know, like the American Dream or some shit.
Or like riding a horse.
Or like riding a horse
into the sunset.
Yeah, but like, there's supposed to be like a emotional
Tie there
storyline.
somehow.
Yeah, like it's always the same 3 things.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because I just love doing the voice.
Yeah.
Whenever they're singing.
Yeah.
And then yeah, no, I do need me a cowboy hat. They're fire. I'll get me some like overall jeans.
You gotta get in character.
Yeah. I love that.
I love country music like in the summertime. So like if I'm like tanning or like driving to the beach with friends, like that's when I listen to it. But like if I were to hear a country song right now, I'm like, oh my God, turn this off. Like I don't want to hear it.
At the rec, we get to choose certain stations to play, and some of the workers, they'll put on country. I'm like, dude,
turn this off.
Why are you playing country in a gym?
You have a choice.
We're trying to work out here.
Yeah.
We're not trying to, freaking, like, you know, I will say my favorite country song, and the only reason is this is the case because this is my brother's morning alarm. And we used to share the same room. So when he woke up, I woke up.
To country music.
And it was Tennessee whiskey.
Every morning.
Every morning. So whenever I hear it, I just...
Flashbacks. You can't do it.
Yeah, it's such a good song. No, but that's valid.
Yeah.
I respect that. I do need to check out the Xfinity at some point and start going to concerts. I think Dua and Guns N' Roses. That's one hell of a 2 concerts to go to.
Yeah.
Last thing. Words of advice and or wisdom, whether it's to your future self, whether it's the friends, family, or whoever could possibly be watching, that you want to leave them off with.
I would say, like, for me right now and, like, everyone else, like, trust the process. Because you may feel like right now, like, what you're dealing with or, like, what you've dealt with in the past is, like, why is this happening to you, whatever. But, like, everything is meant to happen to you for a reason in that given time. So just, like, trust the process and, like, you're going to end up where you're supposed to be.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I had to ask, do you have a favorite basketball and football team, by the way? No?
Not really. I don't, like, follow sports like that.
You
I
don't?
mean, like you said before, like, whatever your parents say.
So what
like,
are your...
My dad's, like, a huge Jets fan. Yeah, not sure.
Yikes.
So,
yeah, you might have to test
so, like,
some other
I'm not
waters.
I wouldn't say that openly because, like, might get, like, canceled.
Shout out Mr. Neider into the Jets. JTS.
Might get canceled,
Yeah.
but, like, I don't have a favorite basketball team, but I love watching basketball.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Anybody asks what you are a Bengals fan.
Okay.
And you were a Oklahoma City Thunder fan.
Okay.
You can do your research.
Is that, like, the bandwagon right now?
Well, the Bengals are. But I've been a Bengals fan since I was like 5.
Yeah.
And everyone's loving
so
Joey.
You're chilling.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, Joe Burrow.
Everyone thinks he's like the finest man in America.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that. That's
I
my
agree.
quarterback. That's my dog. I've been trying to tell people.
He's all over my For You page right now. Not complaining.
Joe Shiesty. Dude, he has like a million nicknames. Joey B. Joe Brr, Joe Shiesty. They called him Snow Shiesty because they just won in the snow last week.
Really?
Like, it's ridiculous. It's cool. Joe Cool. There's so many.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that.
I'll just say that.
Join
now.
the Bengals. I'm just saying. I mean, it's a pretty good time. I mean, your dad probably hate that.
Oh my God.
We whooped the Jets' ass this year too. And then the Thunder. Just.
I think my brother's a Thunder fan.
Is he really?
I'm not sure. He has like a couple of
Great taste if he is. Good for him.
Yeah.
Nah, that's awesome though. Cheers to sports.
I love sports.
Good luck with spring training, the rest of your
Thank
spring
you.
training, and the upcoming season. I'm sure we will do this again. And shout out to the CCSU women's volleyball team. Shout out CCSU and all the other teams that they got over there. I would love to have any of the athletes over there on. Just feel free to hit me up. With that said, everyone has a story and it's still being written. Keep pushing, keep going, keep striving. My heart is with you all, people. And with that said, ciao for now. Love you.